you join me for the last race of this season. And then we will have the giant question of, am I going to get sacked for not winning the Constructors' Championship and only finishing second? But before we do that, let's have a quick recap of what we're doing. So obviously we are trying to get Sophia Flörsch to be world champion. This is hard. We now have her as a driver, and to be fair to her, she has done not badly this season. We've had a couple of crashes, one of which wasn't her fault. That was Bottas spearing us. If you've been watching the streams I've been doing to the Discord, you will have seen that crash. Bottas being Bottas. And generally her stats have been improving, which is really all we were trying to achieve this season. That's been the goal. That's why you don't see K-Mag. K-Mag will pop up somewhere next season, I'd have thought, because he's out of contract. So, generally speaking, she's been performing somewhere between 8th and 12th, which is not bad. And I think there's a couple of reasons why she's not been performing. Like, you'd think that because she has the really powerful car, it would really be compensating. And as we've gone through the season, what I've noticed is it's really not helping her as much as it could. It's that classic thing of a car that different F1 drivers in real life, and this is true in the game, are fitted to different types of car. So I'm going to go old school and go, was it Button and Fisichella in the Benetton back in the day, where essentially different cars perform in different ways. They have different performance characteristics and they don't necessarily meet what drivers want. This car is great for Lando because Lando has really high, because remember this car, so our car, let's get some broken parts on it. How are we looking on these? We've got 4 left. You can have the last one of them. Let's just sort this out as we're talking. Actually, I'll talk it through as we're going through practice, because we're going to have to sit and watch practice anyway. So he is actually going down a front wing, but it should be fine. That is okay. We could probably get away with manufacturing one. The main problem I've got at the moment is I can't run the cost cap as close as I'd like, because the last patch, whilst it fixed a whole bunch of stuff, also balked the cost cap spending projection. It no longer factors in development and research or emergency purchases into the prediction total. So obviously, as you know, I was very good at minimizing this down so we'd run it right to the wire each season and have like 50k left. I can't do that at the moment because even if I get my calculator out, then the numbers don't add up. So I'm having to leave us with more of a float than I can, and I want to. Do we want to sponsor that dude? I mean, we've got the money, go for it, why not? We're not poor, we've got 57 million in the bank. Let's do a quick facilities sweep. Yeah, I thought that might be the case. Refurbish. Boardroom. I mean, you might as well upgrade that. Enjoy yourself. So, cars are good. Let's get to the race, set up our practice, and then I'll talk you through why I think this car's not been great for Sophia. I should say, by the way, Lando, how has Lando been performing, you might ask? Well, let's talk about how Lando's been performing. In fact, let's go to the World Drivers' Championship and look at how Lando's been performing. Lando's been performing rather well. Out of 22 of 23 races so far this season, with one to come, Lando has won every single race. And he's done that from 20 pole positions. The only reason he hasn't got more fastest laps is because I've not actually bothered pushing for fastest laps. Because he's nearly always about 40 seconds in front. And I'm like, I'm not going to bother pushing for that extra 100k when I don't need to. So yes, he is the new Max. So he is absolutely knocking it out the park. And that is the main reason. We needed him to. This is a bit of a gamble. Because this is the main reason we're clear in second in the Constructors. Because Ferrari have not been having a particularly great season. So the thing to remember is the board expectation of me is to finish first. So after this race, the fun thing will be seeing whether I somehow get fired, even though I'm doing an incredible job. Because I've only finished second, but we will see. But let's get to practice. Let's go race targets. So the cars are starting to fall off, so we're going to say 2 drivers reach. Actually, we'll just leave it on 1 for this. And our qualifying position, Lando should still qualify well. Let's go 4th. Finish position 4th. On driver, we won't bother going for fastest lap, and we're on our streaks for that. They are happy with me, but I've never actually not achieved my targets on this game. So I have no idea if just failing to miss them by 1 is enough for you to get fired or not. We will see. I'm in new territory for me. Race prep is done. Let's go to Belgium, and then we'll talk you through, or in practice I'll talk you through why I think car isn't right for Sophia. This season, anyway. And then we'll review her stats at the end, and we'll see where she's got up to. So we are in the Dutch lowlands for the last Grand Prix of the season. As was requested, I need to up the volume a bit for you, because I had it running quite low earlier. Let me get that volume back up for you.
This is just over 4 miles of wonderful racing wherever you look in the Belgian countryside.
So yeah, nice bit of Dutch lowland countryside. Let's get a race going on. Ooh, rain. So let's just do our parts. So we might as well run her on that engine. ERS, we can drop down to that. So our last race of the season. There's enough left in that gearbox. Car setup. Car setup is for the Dutch lowlands. Where is it on the list? There we go. So it suggests A3. A95. 3-4. Dump that up just because to make sure it's got enough to test the setup. And for Lando, it's going to be 3, 9.5, 4.6, 340. 0.6. Run plan to that. Let's sort his parts out so you can go on to that. It's down onto that ERS. I mean, you might as well run on that gearbox. Setup. Driving options done. Save. We want both of our drivers to reach the last race. It's a special spectacle. Netherlands is Luxembourg DLC. Yeah. Manage practice 1. And we'll flip on those 2. And those 2. Right. So, one thing I've noticed with Sophia this season is I was sitting there thinking, why is her stats level no worse than Piastri's was at the beginning of the game? And she's crashing less than Piastri did, and I have my hand firmly touched on wood here while I'm saying this, as my desk is made of wood. But why is she underperforming what Piastri was doing in, frankly, a worse car? Or rather, not underperforming what he was doing, but she should be well beyond where he was getting, because she has a much better car. And then I realised that, again, different cars suit different drivers. Norris is fucking great in this car because Norris has incredibly high stats for smoothness and for cornering and for braking. Sophia doesn't. What that means is, if you think about where this car falls down, this car, and we've known this from the last streams and from all of the other bits we've done, this car, let me just check this out. So Lando, Spa, he is a good. Hello Kitty, good to see you back. Give him a lot of laps. Call you in. Oh, she's in an optimal already. That's nice. Reconfigure. Oh, 97. We'll take that. Just get back out there. So, did I actually change his settings? Or did I just turn to go back out again? I honestly can't remember. You didn't reconfigure it. I didn't think I did. It's because I'm talking to you and I'm trying to multitask. Plenty of time, it's fine. 39546 should be 35946 335 and 04. Now that's going to be wrong because that one's out of there, but at this stage we're going to run him in most of the practices anyway, so that's fine. So yeah, so Lando has good cornering, braking and everything else, and that compensates for the one thing this car is spectacularly bad at, which, who wants to tell me in chat what this car is spectacularly bad at whilst it's first place on everything else? Answers on a postcard. There you go. Points to Thadrin for getting it first. And the rest of you are getting it as well. Acceleration. This car is unbelievably slow in acceleration. And what that's meaning is Lando's skills are compensating for the fact that it's got really slow acceleration. But Sophia can't, because she doesn't have those skills yet. And because she doesn't have those skills, that means she's getting stuck in the pack. And because she's stuck in the pack, she's struggling to get out of the pack because we can't run her, we can't push her on aggressive or anything like that because her smoothness is low. And that means she's still underperforming her tyre graphs. She's got much better over the course of the season. I can just about now be reasonably sure that if I put her on a set of tyres and she doesn't go wide or spin, she's going to perform just below the graph curve. But what that does mean is I can't push her. We have to run her on neutral for the whole race, and sometimes we have to drop her down to light just for a bit to catch up. So essentially what we have is a car that is brilliant if you can handle it, and right now Sophia can't quite handle it. But the fact that the Merc engines are very good and very reliable has also benefited us, because it's meant we haven't had to buy as many parts, which has been useful because she has got through a lot of parts because of that. A couple of accidents that have just wiped out bits on her car. So one thing we need to think about is whether we stay on the Merc engine or not, because that's not helping Sophia, I don't think. Lando can compensate for it, and we're benefiting from the extra endurance. But if she's going to have a relatively ablative car anyway, to put it nicely, do we go to Ferrari engines again? Because I have a sneaking suspicion she's actually quite, certainly in the early or mid stages of the season when she was running at the peak of her parts, and other people weren't changing onto new ones yet, she was hitting regularly getting to Q3, and actually a fair few times hitting P5, P4. She hit a couple of P5, P4s, but then she just gets stuck in that pack and she can't defend or overtake well enough to hold them off with the slow acceleration. So I do wonder whether we might be worth doing a season, assuming I don't get fired, on the Ferrari engines to see if that makes a difference. Not least because I'm not sure how much I can get away with not winning the championship if they do keep me on. Question out of the game. Does experience build based on what the driver is doing in the race? Yes. It very clearly, and it's quite opaque, but as far as I can tell, like, her overtaking skill has gone a lot up, for example, this season, even though I haven't been pushing on it. And that can only be because she's doing so much overtaking, and the same goes for her defending. So that is one of the big things that has improved. And there are other stats that we've prioritised are going up. I just think we have a car that is not configured particularly well for her at the moment. And that's not necessarily a problem. But I think, especially as I think we're in a season before we're going to get a big reset. So one with a penultimate, not like the ultimate. It might be worth us at least thinking about going Ferrari engines for a season to see if that makes a difference for her or not. Might not, but it might be worth an experiment. Right, so he is now on good, optimal, 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 bad. Which means 3, 10, 5, 5, 3, 15, 0. Run plan, because we will put him in for 1. Driving options, yoink, yoink. And she's on how many laps in the race? 48. We'll tell her to run for 45. She's not going to last for 45 on those tyres, but that is fine. Get this practice going. Go, go. And then doesn't it make sense to give a range of different engine providers? I think that's the thing, is we could see... I think we're still going to have a pretty damn good car next season. I've not been able to push as much on research as I'd like because of the cost cap problems, but I still think we're going to have a hugely competitive car. So... we could do a season on the Ferrari engines again. Flörsch IRL is the Alpine Academy. Maybe she thrive with a Renault powertrain. I'm not sure the game's that clever, but we do want to have a look. I think we want to have a look at acceleration. If you get sacked as team principal, is that the end of the run, or can you leap into your successor CK3 star? Well, from what I understand off of Reddit, if you get sacked... post 1.6 patch, it does now give you the option, assuming you've got like a rating high enough, like you've built up enough sort of results and reputation, you do get the option to switch to another team. So if we get sacked, I would suggest maybe we continue the save and we look at maybe trying to rescue one of the big teams that's fallen on hard times. That's an option. But let's see what happens. Meanwhile, just so you all know, I'm standing up at the moment, which means you get full kitty view. He's on pigeon watch. He's guarding against pigeons at the moment. He's had his food, so he's chilling next to the window, because the fan is pointed at that window, so he's actually in the fan breeze. And he can kind of watch things from outside. So that's what he's doing. I'm not going to disturb him. I think he might actually have fallen asleep. And yeah, welcome, Mr. TJD. And that's your first meeting with the Emperor, I think. Meanwhile, Norris has given me some feedback, which I completely missed because we were looking at Kitty. Let's go see what our feedback is. There we go. Perfect. So actually, we might as well... He's got the tyres for it. Run to the end. So I'm sure he would tell you that he's just resting his eyes. I am pretty certain he's sleeping. I think she's only driven a Renault-engined car for one season in her IRL career. Formula Region will mostly a mix of engine suppliers who don't make F1 engines. Mechachrome. Oh man, Mechachrome. Forgot about Mechachrome. There's a name from the past. I want to run a poll for which queue we make it to. I don't think it'd be fair, because you'd basically just be pure guessing. I mean, what we can do is do a poll on whether she manages to finish the Belgian Grand Prix. Let's do a... Oh, we did a where will Sophie place before, didn't we? Now, we'll save that for the beginning of next season. For her first race. Let's do a prediction. I can remember which button it is. It's that button. For... Will Sophia finish in the Dutch DLC race? Finish that. Yes. No. Because this has been our problem as well. She ends up getting driven quite wide. But yeah, Mechachrome engines, man. There you go, prediction up. Next you'll be telling me Cosworth is still making engines. So yeah, I think we'll want to think about whether we switch engine makers. I think that's a genuine thing we will want to think about. She is coming along in stats terms, and I wonder if that's the thing that's really holding her back. Because she then gets stuck in the mid-pack. She's not as confident as overtaking, understandably, which then means she can't pull away and aggressively push to the front of it like Lando can, because we can always run him aggressive and put him on high risk overtakes, which means she loses time in those circumstances. So when she pits again, she drops back down to say 15th, 16th, which she then has to pull back from. By the time she's worked her way back up to 8th or whatever, it's time to pit again, or her tyres have worn down to such a level that she can't now, she starts dropping away again. So I think these are fixable problems over the course of another 2-3 seasons, but I do wonder if she was out in front, she'd be picking up more cornering points than, say, overtake points, which would actually probably do her better in the long term. So, driver prep 98, driver prep 95. I mean, the thing is, at this stage, we might as well run her out for another 30 just because we can. Oh, she's not going to go any higher because she's full satisfaction, but I think, what again I don't know is whether practice experience counts towards points. I've not found anything that will tell me whether practice experience counts towards points. And because you can't see driver points between races anymore, in the last one you could see experience dropping up. Because you can't see them between, say, practice and qualifying gaining experience, you don't know whether they are actually gaining experience or not, which is somewhat frustrating. I'd like to know. am I benefiting from running her in, risking her in extra practices, or am I not? Out there, go out there. Pull car in. I mean, we could run him. You know what? Have some laps, Noz. It's not like you're going to be using those parts again. She's fine on that gearbox.
And here we've got a yellow flag.
That'll be fine. This game has female drivers who you can hire neat. So it starts with exactly one real-life female driver in the game because Sophia Flörsch is racing in F3. So that's what this run is we have taken, for God knows how many seasons in we are now, trying to get her to a point where she will eventually be able to win the World Drivers' Championship. But it regenerates new drivers every season, and the game is good about making sure that actually you will get female drivers generated in that just as much as you get male drivers. There is also a really good mod called the W mod, which has now been patched for the new version, which we will be doing a future run using. So I would like to see more in. I'd hope with the F1 Academy stuff next season we will start to see more female drivers in, but we will find out. But yeah, welcome to the stream. Is that Diniara? Dinlera, I think. I believe this is end of the season 4. Yeah, it probably is. It's either season 4 or 5. Time flies. How you doing, Soph? Still got some life in those tyres. Noz has got life. He's at driver prep 100. We'll bring him in. I think it's 5. This is Norris' second title, right? And it took 3 years to win one. This is indeed his. Yeah, this is his second title. So season 1. No, that might make it season 4. Didn't we win in season 3? Season 1 was our survive the season as McLaren and push on research. Season 2 was the car is much better, but we still need to push on research and we need to improve the training facilities so that we can get Sophia in after that season. And we narrowly missed out. Maybe KMA get a 3-year contract. I'll have a look at the race dates after this and we'll work it out. Basically, after the race, we can see the calendar and it'll have the dates on. Thought 3 was the season where everything was on fire. Yeah, wasn't 3 the Great Reset? And we had to sacrifice... Yes, I think you're right. 1 was the just survive. 2 was quiet rebuild. I mean, we're just starting to get okay. 3 was the Great Reset, where it did the massive regs changes at the end of the season, so we had to flip and start really pushing on research, which meant Norris missed out on his title. 4 was the first win. That was World Drivers' Championship and the Constructors. And then this is the first one we've given Sophia a race car. You might get a date on the next screen. Maybe. Let's see. This is the Formula 1 Belgian Grand Prix 2027, so work it out from that. Work it out from that, chat. End of season 5. There you go.
Welcome to qualifying. Let's find out if all that practice will pay off for the drivers.
Qualifying at Spa is one of the most exciting sessions of the year.
Right. Let's get car parts back on. So she gets nice engine. ERS that will get her through this. And a decent gearbox. And Norris is going to get decent engine. So remember, if Norris wins this, he has won every race this season. Famous last words. I will restart, or I will bird it, reload it if Sophia crashes in qualifying. Because I do want to get her into the last race of the season in a reasonable way. What was Norris's streak of wins at the end of last season? He lost... Didn't he finish second on the podiums in the last couple? Because we were, by that point, pushing on old parts. I'm going to sit down as well. Let's sit down for qualifying. Qualifying is serious business. Do love my sit-stand desk. Highly recommend it. They are the best things ever. Right. Qualifying. So we're going to watch for a good opportunity to go out. Russell, I want one more pack to go out, and then we'll see if we get a good gap. Right, there goes Verstappen. Yeah, that's a good pack. So Leclerc, watch Leclerc. When Leclerc is halfway round his flying lap, we're going out. This is flying lap. We're going out there. Oh, we're going to get screwed. No, we might have got him on the straight. We might be all right.
Currently P2.
That might be okay. That might be okay. Currently a streak matches Damon Hill's win total if he didn't win the last race of last year. Oh, who fucked up? Who fucked up? I don't care because we got through. No one good went out though. Because I don't know if we can see total wins. We should have a look. F1 does have some spec parts. India's almost all spec. Yeah. Also, doesn't the drivers control stuff and the traction control, isn't that all spec in F1 to avoid shenanigans, or at least the reporting side of it is. She gets fresh tyres. He can run on his olds for Q2. F1 has no traction control. Oh yeah, it doesn't anymore again. I've been listening to too much Bring Back V10s. I keep losing track of when F1 has and hasn't got traction control. Driver aids. I'm thinking of driver aids. Right, the grip is actually high already. I reckon we can risk going out because the track grip's high. We're going to get a relatively clean lap, not necessarily the best, but should have time for a second run.
So that's a P1. box.
Yeah, that didn't work out for us. Guess they're both going out again. That might be a reload. That's my own fault for not doing my normal trick of waiting for opportunities. Let's just try it and then we'll always reload.
Okay, currently P1.
That might be good enough. She might make Q3 with that.
And we will box this lap. Box this lap.
She might make Q3 with that. Yeah, I think she will. Anti-stall is definitely a drive raid. Anti-stall is 100% a drive raid. You can call it what you like, it is a drive raid. Nice. Go Soph. I mean, she won't replicate that in this. But if she did, no, look, you can't sit there. I've fed you already. You're not getting more food. You can't. You know exactly what you're doing here. You know I need to see the other screen. That's better. As long as you sit down, you can stay there. That's fine. Don't give me that look. I'm not being mean. I'm just saying. Right. Let's see how she does. I'd expect her to be about 8th. So she gets a fresh set of softs. And I get a fresh set of softs. Right, we need to time this right then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One more. Come out quickly. Come out quickly. Okay, we're going. There goes Russell. We're going up to De Vries. We're going now. Oh, motherfuckers, how did you change up so quickly? That might be alright. She might not catch them.
Currently has put you P1.
No. How is that? What? Like, they really need to fix the whole people getting the fuck out of the way.
P10. So just...
I'm not having that. That's not her fault. Really do think that's the one thing they need to fix in this, is if you catch up with a car on a cool-down lap or a warm-up lap on a corner, they just don't get out of the way, and it just fucks your entire run. But on a straight, they move out of the way. On a corner, they don't. I don't mind the whole aspect of working out when you're going to go out. I really like the aspect of working out when you're going to go out. But for it to actually be viable, you do need a slightly less bit of a lottery about it. Right now.
Radio check. Loud and clear.
Yes, she got a clean lap. We will accept the results of whatever this is.
Okay, that did put you P1 for the moment.
That's probably going to get about 7th, which with the penalties might get her second row. The Emperor had his urinary dietary food earlier, which obviously he absolutely loves. He gets some nicer food this evening. That might front rower. No, Stroll I don't think's taking a penalty. Second row's not bad. We will accept the results of the referendum. Yep.
Well, there's nothing quite
Right. So Noz, absolutely on soft mediums. Ooh, she'll be able to do soft medium softs. Even with her underperforming the tyres, she'll be able to do that. She hasn't got as many pairs of softs, but she'll be fine. When's the rain, though? Right, we need to make it to about... What's that, lap 16-ish? Oh, that's tight. That's doable, though. Let's give it a go. YOLO. We'll have to run her on light on tyres if it looks like it. Lando can definitely do it. I think it's last race of the season. She's on second row. Let's punt it. We won't overfuel them because it's got a range section, so they'll make it back. Because Lando we always do with this to compensate for the fact that he's coming off the line like slow as a fucking tortoise. We can't do that for Sophie, so it would not surprise me if he drops back to about 7th straight off the line. Let's give it a go.
We've got 44. You can hear the excitement in the crowd here at the Belgian Grand Prix. And it's lights out and away
Imran,
we
thank
go.
you for the follow. Right, Norris. Battle assist. Hi. Soph, you get battle assist. She might hold that. She's held it. She won't hold it forever, but she held it for now. I'd say the Aston Martins and the Alphas have been the two most improved cars this season. We'll run them down to about 1.5, maybe even 2. Now we need Norris to open up a gap, which is why we're leaving him on high. Because ideally we want him to gap Stroll before lap 3. And drop him down to aggressive, see if that holds.
After those tyres.
Yeah, confirm.
Just to make sure that's still climbing. Dropping slightly. But let's see it over the course of a whole lap. I know, Kitty, it's a hard life. Nobody loves you. You haven't had 2 sets of bed scritches today already. You haven't had 2 meals and a little bit of my pork pie at lunchtime. Freeze locked up, that's good news. Yeah, we got this on gap. I reckon we can drop it down. So note that we were running him on aggressive and on pure attack, and our tyre wear is still roughly equivalent to what Sophia's been doing. Does he like the desk when it's high or does he not trust it? He quite likes it when it's high. He can look down on everything. Right, let's run them like that for a while. We might need to push her onto light tyres. Oh, come on! Not on stream. I'm not having that. I'll pay out for it. But that's like just fucking sod's law, that is. I want you guys to see her finish a race, because she's been doing really well. She's had a couple of wides and a few spins, but she's only had one actual proper full-on balk.
We've got 44 laps.
And I'm pretty certain that was Stroll's fault. Normally is. But I will pay out, because that was the first one.
Lights out, and away we go.
Back assist. Like, I'm not really in the mood, or like in the habit of birding races. If they crash, they crash. But just for this. Just got to Season 2 of McLaren. It's been a fun time. Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, if you get to Season 2 and you push on research, you can be reasonably competitive in Season 2. Which is nice. And then you can just sort of balance stuff out. Let's go back to aggressive for a bit. There we go, that'll do. So you can see that she's just not quite competitive enough. She'll drop down to about 9th, I reckon. But we'll see. Go into neutral. As you can see, where she loses it is on the corners. Now this is a race to the rain. I have upgraded the weather centre, so they should be slightly better. Kangaroo Bit, thank you for the follow. Anyone else impressed with what Liam Lawson has put together in his first 2 races? Yeah, he's done well, hasn't he? Yeah, we're going to need to run her on the lights, and let's take her onto balanced. Go onto balance now. So you can see she's better at performing to her line, but still not great. You can deploy.
Weather update. We are expecting some rain. Yeah, confirm.
I am ready for the rain. Bring on the rain.
We should be able to take a look here. Here we are going into turn 9. The opportunity begging to be taken. Closer and closer to that post.
To be fair, that was said about DeVries last year. Well, there is an element of that.
Rain is imminent.
Yeah, but when? Bring me rain or the Prussians. Rain starting.
Confirm.
We made it. Now, how quickly does this... Oh, it's quite a slow build-up. Oh, that's not looking good. If that graph is accurate, we've got to make it to about lap 19. And that is not going to be easy. Get on lights, you lot. We are absolutely trying a one-stop onto Inters. In fact, it might be a 2-stop. Because it might clear up later on. Right. 3.5. Do we go for the undercut? do we do one more lap? Right, as every single one of you, I think. Oh no. One person chose the other option, so I am going to give it to that one person. There you go. Another lap. Yeah, I kind of feel like we go another lap. But we can go on to regular standard tyres now. Canax, thank you for the follow. With Sophia do the undercut. That's true, we could undercut with Sophia because she's that much further around the track than Norris is. Let's see where the rain is when she gets close to the pit lane. I think you're right. I think Norris we go attack. And deploy. And let's have a think about what we do with Sophie. 0.54. We don't really have anything to lose by trying the undercut on her, do we? So now it's a slow climb. It's 0.04 in half a lap. Yeah, I think we run her more. Next lap might actually be the undercut.
So we are low on battery at the moment. Copy.
This is the undercut lap. No, it's next lap. It's this one.
Yeah, confirm.
0.68. This is the undercut. I think we run Norris one more and we undercut with Sophie. Problem is she hasn't got any tyres left to shred. I know I can double stack, but I don't need to double stack. I've had some success with max underfueling running the whole race on conserve. Being light has so many advantages. Yeah, I mean, I think we might try a lot more light running with Sophia next year. The thing though is I also quite like just powering through. Right. I think we're bringing in Sophie. I think we gun Norris for another lap and bring him in next lap. The AI tends to pit at 0.75. Right, everyone else is pitting. Right, Norris, you're in next. Fucking rag 'em. Watch the back. Had a pit stop issue, that's not going to help us. Yep. And standard. Standard. I mean, you can go aggressive. She can go aggressive, actually. Right, what's the water graph looking like? Yeah, we're on inters until the end. We're one-stopping inters until the end. So this race gets very dull now, unless something happens. We can absolutely run both of them on aggressive. Yeah, I think we did that right. I don't think Sophia would have benefited from being out for another lap. Whereas I think Norris had the cornering and the legs to pull it off.
Let us know about track condition.
Do need to not overheat these tyres though.
Yeah, copy. Temps are climbing. Temps are now climbing.
Some deploying. What I'd really like is for that to drop down to 0.75 and for everyone else to pit. Well, he's Inter's last and aggressive. Oh, you ran wide, Sophie. Don't run wide.
Now we can see what happened. Right, we're at turn 14 here. And that won't help their chances.
That's all right. That could be worse. That could be worse. Keep your shoulders up. You're fine. Just push for the finish. That's all we care about.
And we'll push. Copy.
Neutrals. Does Sophia have any voice lines? She does not, and yes, we have opinions. When I finish this run, I'm going to do a video about it, but like, I think if you've got one fucking female driver in the game, one real female driver in the game, it is not a hardship to go out and just record her some fucking voice lines. Like, you know that people, streamers, like people on all the forums are trying to do what I'm doing here. Like, make it an achievement. Make it a thing. Draw attention to the fact that she's in the game. This is where she struggles a bit, because she just doesn't quite have the skills to get past.
Red flag.
Oh, is she out? Who's out?
Now this was the 7th
No.
corner.
Who is it?
Dangerously
Oh, it's
close to
Theo.
each other,
Theo Pourchaire.
and you can see how the
Ooh.
cars come together. And they'll have to pick themselves up after that. And for the crew watching on in the garage, that really
Bonk
must have been a
indeed.
hard one to take.
I'm confused as to what the game thinks is turn 14 at Spa, yeah. Might as well put fresh inters on them.
The restart is moments away as the race continues. And it's lights out, and away we go.
Burn, baby, burn. Well, this changes things. Because the day's now running later. Favourite drivetrain? Ferrari if you want pure speed. I'm really liking this Merc powertrain though. The acceleration is awful, but the endurance on it and the fact that you don't lose power until 65% is wonderful. Basically, if you've got the downforce research and everything else to get speed in other ways, I think the Merc drivetrain is unbeatable. Although for reasons I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, you may be flipping back. So using the scientifically accurate non-y-axis method of knowing that cursor height is roughly 1. Do we run to the end of the race on inters or not? It would be nice to have the option to make your own engine. I would really like them to move towards a works and a customer setup and have new engine manufacturers come in and drop out and have the engine performances fluctuate slightly each year. So it's more of a kind of like, and to have discounts if you want to lock yourself in for a bit longer. So maybe you turn around and go to Mercedes, look, I will lock in for 3 years and you give me a discount, but I run the risk then that you might have performance drop-offs later off. Or have just manufacturers leave and then you have like Honda come in or Ford or someone else. But if you want, just make them up, or Mechachrome. Let's get Mechachrome back. Don't crash into a Williams, because that would be embarrassing. You're fine, you got him on here, you're getting on here, you're alright. You've got fucking speed on him, you're okay. In Verstappen getting in front now, which is fucking annoying. Watch this be the one race this season. Oh, she's out. She's spun.
Look at the McLaren driver.
That was always the risk. We were massively pushing her.
Round they go.
Right, we were massively pushing her in the wets, so. This is what I was saying about you can't really push her that hard. So I take the blame for that, not her. But can you not be stuck behind fucking Verstappen, please? This will be the one race this season that Norris doesn't win. You watch. But at least she's getting overtake points. Because Verstappen's going to fuck him.
Pretty hot. Just keep up the tire management for the moment.
Okay, yeah, confirm. No rain, so circuit's all clear.
Right, what we doing? I mean, there is legitimately no risk in pitting Flörsch for softs. Legit no risk. No way you're making back 24 seconds in 4 laps, given now it's still into conditions. Depends on whether everyone pits, though. She's close enough to do it. Fuck it. Norris we keep out. And we just absolutely rinse those inters. Yeah, but he's got 82% on them and he only needs to get around 3 laps. 4 laps. We need to burn the tyres.
fairly heavy accident.
Motherfucker.
A lot of debris here.
Fucking Mick. Or Mick could spaz it into a wall.
VSC, VSC. Keep the delta positive.
How are track conditions?
There's just strutting, nothing. It's
He's just
strutting.
not his father, is he? No, not really. No.
Look after the tyres.
Okay.
Is this going to finish under safety car? Oh! Oh! Oh, shit.
So VSC ending.
Fucking murder him. Murder him, Norris. We're going to lose this now. Oh, I kind of like that in a way, to be fair. Next season is the win every race season then. Yeah, Verstappen pitted.
Okay, that's the checkered flag.
Max Verstappen over the finish line and today's winner.
I thought if we'd had one more lap on the virtual safety car, we'd have been fine.
McLaren driver there with a race they'll no doubt want to forget.
You know, I don't think many...
I feel like that was an epic end to the season, and I'm fine with that. Fair play. So, well, so pit loss during virtual safety cars. Yeah, that was kind of what we should have thought about. So this is now red, so I am intrigued now as to whether I get fired. Like, I've just led one of the most dominant McLaren performances, but we are running with a rookie driver. We've been blooding. And I will be interested to see if now I get fired. Yeah, win 22 out of 23 races and get fired. I think it's entirely possible the game will do that. If it is, I have plans. I have plans, chat. Right, we're taking a save here. And we're going to click through, because no more research we can do anyway. I think we're going to be fine on the cost cap. I really wish they'd fix that projected. Look at Pietro Fittipaldi's living his best life as the reserve driver there. Done fuck all season. Just chilling in the paddock. Smiling at people. Keeping everyone happy. Now they have high confidence in me. Yeah, see, look. I knew we were close to it. Now, obviously, as you guys have been watching me before will know, I can normally run that down to about 50 grand. So, yeah, we have two drivers and a... He just walks around cheering everyone up. So it's 6th of December. Should consider another research project. Should I fuck? Have you seen my cost cap? Well, are we going to be... I don't know whether we need to give people their traditional holiday. Like, we normally fire everyone in December just to make sure we stay under the cost cap. And then rehire them in January, but... Right, that's our backup save. This is 6th of December. Oh no, we're delayed in upgrading the boardroom. Disaster. All the fish in the fish tank died. Someone forgot to aerate the fish tank. Moment of truth. So we finished 2nd in the fastest pit stop. Oh, cheer up, Lauren. They've got high confidence in me for that. Flörsch finished 12th, which isn't bad, really. Norris won. And we finished 2nd in the constructors. And we got a 5-star team rating. I finished 2nd, not 1st. So I failed my season objective. I lost 50 points off my team principal rating. Now they say they have high confidence in me still. I don't think I've been fired. So here are the regulation changes. So there's 5% basically off of everything. And I voted for more. You get more stuff if you're lower down. Right. So where she finishes at the end of this season is her smoothness is up to 69 now. Nice. Her cornering's up to 75. Braking, reactions and smoothness are the things we need up. Did they even up the payouts per place? Yeah, I voted for them to even up the payouts because we're rolling in cash, so it doesn't affect us as much as it affects the other teams. Yeah, I wish I'd taken a screenshot of her at the beginning of the season. Let me stick this in Discord now. So we've got one for... for future reference, assuming we don't get fired. So braking, reactions, smoothness, like that stuff's good. She's getting there. Control's good. Cornering's good. It's braking, reactions and smoothness that are letting her down. It's going to let me click the button. They haven't fired me. That's good news. Right, we have so much cash that we might as well max out merchandising. The skills from 21 mark. Oh yeah, no, we got. So how are we looking? So let's. So comparison from previous year. I don't really have a way of side-by-siding this, so you have to take my word for it. She has gone +9 on cornering. Her braking is the same because we haven't really worked on that at all. Her reactions are +3. Her accuracy is the same. Her control's the same. Her smoothness is +3. Her adaptability is +6. Her overtaking is +3. And her defending's +1. So, some improvements. But I'd like to see more in key areas. Right, as we've maxed out that, we can basically... Race simulator events, I want the absolute minimum. We're on the minimum for that. I think we go minimum on everything, to be honest. We don't need the cash. I mean, that I'm fine with, you know. Fucking wander around the memorabilia room, see if I care. So I think we go with that. Double points for last race of the season. Same limits. Right, here's the question. Because surely the reason we had... like, I can't think of another reason why we had such terrible acceleration. Like, what else could affect acceleration? That did seem to be when we lost acceleration, was when we went to Merc. So do we try a year on Ferraris? I'm assuming it's a powertrain trait, because I can't think what else it can be, because there's nothing you can do on your stat stuff that influences it, apart from adjusting weight, and you can't adjust weight that much to influence it. So it just seems to me that, if nothing else, it's a way of testing it. I think we're going back to the horse. I think we're getting back on the horse for this season. Drag reduction on the underfloor and rearing can make a difference. Yeah, but that's it. It's a tiny one. Like you get like 0.1 off of it, and we were third on the grid by we were 13th on the grid by a long way, a long way. And we were dropping to 17th by the end, even while running lighter parts. But the Ferrari to Mercedes switch was very much when we massively dropped off on our power. Let's try it. Let's do a year on Ferrari. Right. It's like, it's nice that her adaptability's gone up. I'd like some of her actual other stats. Oh, we'll get to pit crew in a minute. Right, standard competition. What is our baseline car in comparison to the grid? You can see the numbers there. Your prediction is coming up. It is our same one as usual at this time of the season. How many of those are going to be top 3 on paper? Which basically means how good is the car in comparison to the rest of the grid? Your prediction is now live. And it's a quick one. I think we were first for 8 out of the 9 last season. Yeah, the one we weren't was acceleration. We were below average on the grid for acceleration last season. Note that we are above it now. So I think it is powertrain related. I think it is powertrain related. So while we're doing that, let's get some research going on. Well, we don't want to start research yet. Let's check what her focuses are. So we have her focused on that because it gives smoothness, reactions and cornering. I still think that's the best option. Maybe we go to... No. I just wish it would be a bit more not pinging adaptability up. I really want reactions and smoothness over 70 before we flip her. I just think we have to. Lando is a beast. He's the smoothest man on the planet. He has 100 cornering, 97 braking. We've got him on balance. We should probably actually stick him on something that is going to improve him. And driving standards. Yeah, extra rate is the same for all cars at this stage. So, how many top 3 on paper? Nobody went for 0%. 17% of you went to 3 for 4. 8% went of you for 5 to 6. 76% of you think we're on 7 plus. Let's have a look, shall we? First. 7th. That is much higher than we used to be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, you're 7 pluses. You win. So, who accelerates faster than us? Holy shit, this car is a monster. We make monster cars. We are good at making cars. So, we're faster than the baseline Ferraris. The Red Bulls. Oh, hang on. Is it everyone on a Red Bull engine is going to beat us on acceleration and no one else? Who else will be guaranteed on a Red Bull engine? It's because you'd have 2 Red Bull cars, so that's 2. Alpha Tauri will be on the Red Bull. No, because they're 15th. That's where we were in acceleration last year. The Mercedes rebuild project is definitely a follow-on stream from this one. That's what I was going to do if we got fired. I was going to go to Mercedes. Like, Mercedes are a fucking mess. The Haas are faster than us in acceleration, so that's 2. I don't know if the AI keeps AlphaTauri on Red Bull. It does. The teams that have fixed engine choices are Red Bull or Ferrari that have to stay on Ferraris. Red Bull have to stay on Red Bull engines. Mercedes have to stay on Mercedes. AlphaTauri have to stay on Red Bulls. And I think there's one more. So the Haas out accelerate us and the Williams out accelerate us. Bet you they're on Red Bull engines. Alpine have to be on Renaults, that's right. Yeah, you're right. That was the other one I wasn't thinking of. Is there a way I can see who... I don't think I can see who went with what on engine choices, which is mildly annoying. I reckon it's all the teams on Red Bull engines. Right, well, what do we... What do we, I mean, shit, what are we deving on? Like, let's compare ourselves to Red Bull, because they're still our biggest opposition. Low speed cornering is what they're closest to us on. Always like a bit more speed. Last time you used your turn tenths on what, rear wing and chassis? I think so. I'm tempted to do slightly less research this year because you get marginal increases on this. Like, we're basically the fastest car on the planet and nothing's going to make us better. What would help Sophia most? That's a good question. Stuff that would help with braking and cornering. And brake cooling. Suspension and front wing then, yeah, probably. And high speed cornering plus 20. I mean, maybe we do that. Take the hit on engine cooling, but for another quarter of a kph. Change lifespan, yeah, maybe we should. Let's knock it down one. So when these Ferrari engines degrade even faster, yeah, but we're pretty good on engine. We know we're going to buy at least 2 more engines anyway. So we probably want suspension and front wing. And we can always boost it later on, it's just more about what we're boosting now. So we go lighter. Not that fussed on drag reduction. More interested in a bit more of that. And then I think we go front wing on intense as well. We go balanced. Push on brake cooling, because that will really help her. The thing is, to deliver a massive increase, you have to do like that. That's probably the sweet point. There's the sweet point. And yeah, I think we'll make this intense. So I think we go there. That's the only intenses we're doing. Get some underfloor out the way. Facilities, car park test centre. I mean, we've got the cash, just upgrade you. That's all fine. That's all fine. Minimum life standard pit lanes now. I mean, one strategy you can do is just setting all of them to minimum. Frankly, we could probably get away with it because the car's so far ahead already. The problem is you're spending a shit ton of money on parts. Anything else we need to set? Pit crew schedule. Yeah, that's fine. Get to work, Lauren. Do your fucking job. Oh, if we had the driver lineups. Formula 2 driver roster, team updates. So, we're unchanged. Giovinazzi is nowhere near as happy about being a reserve as Fittipaldi is. Fittipaldi is a ray of sunshine in the paddock. Russell and Saints, Albon and Gasly, that's unchanged. Stroll and Yuki. De Vries has got the boot from Aston Martin and he's ended up at Williams with Piastri. That's a fucking crash team waiting to happen. Behrman and Schumacher. Jules Pourchaire, Hauger and Ocon, and Dragovic and Sargent. Interesting. Mick still hanging in there somehow. No, Sainz is still there. Sainz is at... Oh no, he is. Sainz has gone to Ferrari. So's Russell. No, Russell was there last season. Sainz... Where was... So Sainz was at Aston Martin. Sainz was at Merc, and then they've got Hauger now. So yeah, Perez has gone. It's Perez. Yeah. Perez has gone. Has he retired? Doubt it. Free agent. He's a free agent. As is Bottas. Fuck you, Bottas. K-Mag, still free agent. Oh, K-Mag. K-Mag, do you want to come back as reserve? We just want you around, K-Mag. You're lost, K-Mag. Ain't no one else giving you a seat. Alright, I think we've said everything, haven't we? You can do the boardroom quicker. You found the wallpaper then? Sure, why not? That's the design centre back to full strength. Really, this annoys me. This really annoys me. Like, you should be able to, when they hit like halfway point, like here, you should be able to hit repair at that point. You shouldn't have to wait for it to completely break before you can repair it. Oh, are we changing track orders? Are we changing track orders this season? I feel like we should. Oh, I don't know if the database editor's working. I don't know if the database editor's working post 1.6. If someone can have a look on race department while I go grab a glass of wine and tell me if database editor's been updated, because if so, I'll download it and we'll change track orders. Back in a second. Right. I have wine. Wine is good. I might hold off on using a database editor. we can potentially change it later. We can always change it later and just change the last race of the season. Looks like the update hasn't broken it. Okay, I'll tell you what. Let's take a save. Chat, what races do you want first and last? Remember, standard rules, not Monaco. Stick your suggestions in chat. So we have a double save. And I will go and edit one of those saves while we're doing this. Quick back to menu. Australian Grand Prix in 39 days. Chassis in 2 days. Right, I think we're going to do our standard trick because the car is already good. So this is a good trick to do, or this is a good thing. If you've got a good car already and you want to save money, double dip. So we're going to go straight into building chassis 2, or chassis 3 rather, which means we don't need to build any of chassis 2. We'll skip it. Last time they raced at Indianapolis, only 6 cars started. Yeah, but that was because of the tyre issue. That's because of the banking on the curves and the whole construction of the Michelins with the tyre wall construction. You wouldn't have that if they did it again. That whole thing was a massive fuck up. They should have just let them go through the pit lane. It would have been a fine penalty. It would have worked fine. I remember watching that. It was just such a fucking fiasco. Bit lighter. Gives some nice high-speed cornering. Bit more engine cooling. Maybe boost more on engine cooling. Yeah, we'll go with that. Now, actually, with 2 engineers, we can still get that out in time for Australia. But we wouldn't be able to build it in time. 5, we might get a build in on that, just. So we're not going to build chassis 2. We'll wait for chassis 3. Frankly, I don't think we're going to build any of the 2s. We're just going to go on baseline car. That USGP was a serious cringe fest. Yeah, it was awful. And welcome to the stream, Obi-Wan Kenobi 8999. Like, just how it was handled. The whole thing in the background was a massive power play by Max Mosley, anyway. A massive power play by Mosley. What did we just finished? It was suspension, wasn't it? Yeah. So we'll go 8, 5. Maybe try and boost more on brake cooling. Drop the lifespan. Give me same thing again. Give me underfloor. Give me 4, 6. It's all right, I think. Wouldn't mind a bit more low speed cornering over high speed. go with that. He did like the power play side of things a bit too much, even behind closed. But well, yeah. Yep. So we go with that. So we're doing straight to part 3s on those. And we'll do the same with front wing. Stick on that again, balanced maybe. I don't think. Get a lower chance of mistake. That's a pit stop time drop. Let's go with that. Do we have anything left for a next one on that, or are we waiting? Yeah, we can slide in one on that. I think probably low speed cornering is a priority here. Normal is fine. This is something I think people need to get into the habit of, is once you get a good design center, is don't feel the need to rush everything. You're better off taking a couple of intensives. Once your car's competitive, take the research a bit, or the design research a bit slower. Oh, yes. Give me the chassis quicker. Nice. That means we can get 2 of the chassis 3s in. Oh, 20 days. You know what? We'll rush that. We don't do it often. Probably wouldn't have needed to if I'd remembered the factory was about to get upgraded. Because now things build faster. Yeah, fine, upgrade the weather centre. Refurbish that. Still won't put any numbers on the y-axis. Half a mil to dust trophies, yeah I know. Cleaning bills are intense. Right. Let's get our new chassis on. Are we going to push straight to chassis 4? Did we push chassis again? No, we didn't. Probably not, so we might want to just get some more of them going now. Just give me another 2 of them, because we probably will push to chassis 4. What do we research now? Well, we're not researching anything because we need to wait for the next ATR. Performance targets. I would be very surprised if we can't qualify above 4th. And I think we're definitely reaching Q2 with 2 drivers, and Q3 with at least 1. We will take finish position of 4th or above. And for our hot streak targets, we will just go with 2 to begin with. We want 1 driver above 4th, and qualifying 1 driver above 4th. We're not starved for cash, so let's not overreach. That will do. Right. We will race
It's
this today.
wonderful to be back down under for the Australian.
Rain in qualifying, so that's going to disguise our pace. Right. Car setup is, according to this, is 8:13. God bless F1 setup.it. 7:3. 3:15. And 6:5. Run plan can be in 19 laps. If either of our drivers crashes out, we will reload this, because I do want to make sure that you see how we do, how we sit in comparison to everyone else. Our setup is 8:13, 7:3, 3:15, and 6:5. Run plan is 19. It's that refreshing time of the year where we don't have to worry about car parts. Let's see how terrible Merc are this year. What I'll do before next stream is I'll have a look at configuring, see if we can get a different car design again, different livery. I had to take it off when they dropped the patch because it was crashing the game. So remember, our times here are not in any way a true test of our performance, because we are avoiding high curbs, we are running on light specs because we're avoiding doing wear on the engine. So don't panic when we finish at the bottom of this list. I would expect us to sit right at the bottom of this list. So it seemed like Sophia gained 5 levels per year as a reserve, but about 3-ish levels as a driver. So I've been doing a bit of playing around with that off stream by fiddling with the database on a backup save. We got optimal already, that's perfect. And one thing I worked out is it definitely, oh, and she did, it definitely weights different stats differently in terms of how they contribute to overall rank. So you need a lot more points increase in certain categories to trigger a rank rise than you do in other categories. I don't like the orange livery on the McLaren. Yeah, well, we were running with the white one, which was slightly better. And I will reload that as soon as I can. How many laps are there here? 62. Go for 50. So 97, that's nice. Triple crown livery, that was all we used. Yeah, what I really want is a Marlboro one, but with all the smoking brands removed so that we can actually use it on stream. But yeah, the Triple Crown is available and better. I'm sure they've patched it by now. I'm sure they would have patched it. Right, it's worth noting that both Norris and Flörsch are not last, whilst avoiding high curbs, running light and not using their DRSs at all. Which is a positive sign. Yeah, I mean, they are using DRS. But everyone else is using DRS as well, so that's not a differential. Well, that was a good, nice, quick P1, so we can get... We should be able to max out both all of our stats as much as we can here. McLaren Triple Crown hasn't been updated in RD since 15th. And there might be... So it might have been the women's mod that was breaking it before. But I took all of the mods out just in case. So I will try launching it with just the new livery and see if it sticks. Like, it's obvious when it doesn't. The game just doesn't even launch. You get an Unreal Engine error. So I will try it. I am pleased I didn't get fired. Like, if I got fired at the end of this year for continuing to miss the target, I'd be more zen about it. But if I got fired in year 1 of finishing second and Lando Norris winning all races in the season bar the last one, where he was fucked by weather, not competence, then I'm fine with that. I think they might be about to max out. Yep.
So we have taken the flag.
Not seeing people on race department complaining about liveries. Yeah, I think it was more likely the female drivers mod, because it touches the database, whereas I'd assume the liveries don't. Right, run on mediums for as long as you can. And you, Sophie? Go on, Soph. There were complaints about the UW talents breaking before it got updated. It might have been it then. That might have been it. So it's worth running them in all 3 practices at this stage. Actually, is it though? We're basically doing it for the car parts knowledge. We'll see how high the driver prep gets. Essentially, Sophia needs to be 90% on driver preparation to benefit from super high confidence. Norris just needs to be above 85, I think. Did you figure out if more P3 led to more XP? I have honestly got no way of knowing. This is the problem. Like, at least in the last game, you could, between each session, you'd get like an XP report. It would tell you what things contributed to what. They've extrapolated all that behind just the points increases, which might feel more thematically appropriate because you're not seeing like kind of XP build like an RPG, but it just leaves it very impenetrable to knowing what influences your racer's development. Like, I'd at least want a decent guide somewhere. That would be nice. Just give me a guide somewhere, like an online guide that says these are the things that influence. Like, if I could sit down with one of Frontier's devs, I wouldn't need to be, I'm not asking for specifics, but I'd be saying, does running a driver in practice influence their skills development? Yes, no. I don't need to know by how much, just tell me whether it does. Like, I'm not asking you to compromise the game, but just let me know if I'm wasting my time running Flörsch in P3, because it's also going to be wasting me money. Because it's parts wear. You don't want the recipe to the sauce, you just want an ingredients list. Yeah, exactly. That's all I'm asking for. Like, I'm not asking for a secret breakdown on the full algorithm. I just want to know whether it influences it or not. Did in the last game, but does it in this? I don't think running them in P3 is going to be hugely worth it. Not for Norris, anyway. Yeah, Norris is at 85. You're hitting into marginal gains territory at this point, so I think we won't run Norris in P3, but we will run Sophie for a bunch of laps. Sophia will run for a bunch of laps, but Lands won't. Because the thing is, their car parts knowledge is going to drop when we put new parts on the cars anyway. I reckon if we run her in P3, we can get her over 90. That's checkers in P2. Right, here's what we're going to do. So she goes on to softs, and her run pan is 40 laps. I will say, I reckon the tyre wear's better already. She wouldn't complete that full session on one set of tyres in P2 last year. You're going to go into softs, and I want you to give me five laps at pseudo race pace. This isn't true race pace. It starts to give us an idea of the speed of the cars. Did we drop? Yeah, we did. Okay, that's fine. So get out there, both of you. Because the grip's normal, so... Oh shit, it's raining. And it's going to stay raining.
So the rain that we expect to hit will be light.
Confirm.
Stay out, Soph. See if you can scratch that 90 before I pull you in. Norris got a reasonably fast lap in, but we're not going to really get an idea of how that compares. Go on. Hit 90. You know you want to. Thing is, she can only get it through...
That's not what you say.
car parts knowledge, so we might just want to pull her in. We'll give her a little bit longer. When it hits 2.5, I'm just going to pull her in anyway. $90, that'll do. Right, go sit in the garage. P3 is the next day, which had more weather predicted. Exactly. Right, now we run this down. And then we get to see the test. Qualifying. Here we go. Twenty more minutes, and then we get qualifying. Yeah, it's nice to dodge the rain. I mean, this saves a bit more on engine wear as well. But I suspect we'll be qualifying in the rain. The interesting thing will be whether it's racing in the rain. Ah, Albon. You do you, my friend. You do you.
Let's see what.
Hey, the Bearman's running wide.
Let's watch these cars as they head into turn 10.
Whee!
Oh no! Wide they go. Perhaps a little.
Nice little run on the grass there. Is Bearman new? Yeah, he is new. And he's a real driver. But I don't think he was driving for Haas last year. I'm trying to remember who was driving for Haas last year. Oh, wasn't Mick still there? Mick was still at Haas. Where did he end up? I thought he got a seat still. Yeah, no, he's seat 19. He's MSC. So who did Bearman replace? Bottas. Yeah, that's it. Well remembered, Lindosh. It's Bottas. Because Bottas is seatless. To be fair, Bottas was an absolute crash merchant last year, so I'm not surprised that he walked out. Not surprised at all. Mick is now reserve driver at Merck. Is he? I didn't realise he was their reserve. Right. Oh, that's interesting. Her bars have moved around.
Welcome to qualifying.
Now, are we qualifying in the wet? This is the question. No. At least not to begin with, so we might be running out as quickly as we can. So this will be a quickly pause when it starts so we can look at the weather gauge, because God forbid we be able to look at the weather gauge before the race starts. Like, it's not like we have a very expensive weather fucking room or anything. Yep, we go now. Go. Go. Yeah, everyone rushing out to get their lap in.
Currently P1.
Right, rain hasn't started yet, so we'll get some legit times off of that. Oh, Flo's slow. She didn't have a great lap. She'll get through, though.
We are expecting some rain.
Confirm.
She'll get through. Toto's a thing for those who had been given the boot. Made Ocon a reserve driver when he's booted by Racing Point. I think his general attitude is, if you're going to need someone to step up, you want someone good. Good sign, though, with Norris up top. Suggests that the Red Bulls and the Ferraris are still going to be strong. Merc rebuild project is going to be pretty obscene to do. People are trying another lap, but there's no point. You're not going to get a faster lap now. Maybe also traffic. Could be traffic. Right, this one's in the wet. Which kind of helps us out, because, or does it? Depends on which tyres it returns. Might not help us out. Right. Again, could ask our weather centre for help. No point. Go. Just go.
Okay, that did put you P1 for the moment.
Just go. Stay on those. Stay on those. Is Behrman Hulkenberg's nickname? I feel a bit like that. That's curving off. Yeah, it's changed to wet, but it's not going to be wet forever. Giggity. Don't think that's going to be enough. No, it's going to be enough. That's going to be enough. That'll Q1er. Or Q3er rather. Norris out. Well. That didn't work, did it? He just got unlucky there. Basically, traffic fucked him. That's the thing, traffic can just utterly fuck you in this game. No, I'm not that fast. She's on softs. Give some fresh softs. It is not often this season you're going to see her out-qualify Lando. I'll tell you that much. This will be the first time she is higher on the grid.
No rain, so circuit's all clear. So that's P2 at the moment.
She'll be about 8th, I think.
That's a good lap.
Yeah, 9.
Box, and call the car.
Social media already speculating about Lando's position at McLaren, indeed. And welcome. Welcome. Well, that is a disastrous first qualifiers for us. But weather gonna weather. Let's see what happens in the race.
Well, there's nothing quite like it.
Well, now it'll tell us the race is dry. I mean, I could. But I think we're going to want to push the softs early on. I think that's our likely plan. Now I think that should mean we can comfortably three-stop her. And again, actually push her early on. I don't think we're going to overfuel. I think we're going to run light and catch it up. No, we're faster on the acceleration. We should be fine. We'll go with a lap. Now, I would expect the performance gap to have narrowed, because you get diminishing returns the higher levels you are in research. And we were very high on research, so other people could theoretically have caught up.
The fans here in Melbourne are all set. Brace yourselves for the Australian Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
Battle assists, high overtake aggression, battle assist. It's fine. Now, if she ends up behind him, if he ends up behind her, we will tell him to swap grid places. This is the problem with being stuck in the pack. Don't like Crofty does a game out for a commentator change. No. He's alright. Norris properly stuck back there. Safe trying to go on the outside there. Kind of wish the game had a handful of default voice lines for randomly generated characters. Yeah, I mean, just do 5 different fucking voices. Just get 5 different voice people to just record some generic lines. And just use them on regens. It's not like anyone's going to care. Like, they have a few sort of very muffled ones. It's like, just do a bit more. It's not hard. Norris is properly stuck back there. Burning through tyres for no reason.
Look after the tyres.
Go for it.
There's like a version with all randomly generated characters. You could probably knock up a mod to do that relatively easily. But yeah, it'd be a nice bit like Football Manager where you can just turn around and go, just give me randoms now.
DRS is now enabled.
Right, DRS, now we see where we go.
So we're low on battery at the moment.
Right, this might be a poor race for us, you know. 'Cause we're just stuck in that pack. Yeah, like, what the fuck's Norris doing back there?
Overtaking is very difficult.
What the fuck, Norris?
Keep your head down.
Now that said, I do think this kicks in as well. Is I think the game has better overtake mechanics when you're not watching it. But maybe not. The thing is, they can both burn these tyres.
We've had a big crash here. We had debris.
But was it Russell? Ferrari's just fucked up.
There's been a crash.
Oh!
Yeah, plenty of space.
F1 drift. F1 Australia drift. Right, I might take her off of pushing on the tyres. Norris will leave on. We'll drop her to standard on tyres.
Yeah, we just need to make sure that we don't fall off a cliff on that tyre.
Considering switching to Haas next season in my Alpha Tauri run, I want to see what I won't spend any money on drivers. That'd be interesting. Come on, Noz, take him. Right, if you two could not crash into each other, I'd be grateful. Thank you. I didn't even tell him to do that. It's fine, it's fine.
Just do what you can.
The Aston Martins are fast, don't worry about it. This is definitely a more even field in car terms. Definitely. We'll let Norris continue to push. Like, he is slowly gaining on Gasly, but not fast. Yeah, the season over season rule changes are very minimal, and everyone else will have caught up with us. What we kind of need is a big reset. I think the impact of research was definitely minimized. What's cost us here is just how long they got stuck in the pack. Like, that's the reason there's such a gap in the top fives.
There's a massive shunt down at turn 2.
Who shunted?
Stay well away from the debris.
Who shunted? It's a Ferrari shuntathon today.
I cannot believe it.
I run them down to 1. Oh, no. It's Flo pushing. I could push her now. She is close enough to pit that I could push her.
Let's push.
Push it, Sophia. Push it real good. She's hard on the car, but able to make up places now. Yeah, definitely. I think my theory about acceleration being a problem is this is showing my theory is correct. I'm going to run along. I'm going to bring in Norris. Because he's fighting Verstappen, so we'll undercut Verstappen. And now we bring her in. The race isn't over. Don't tell me they've navigated traffic really well until the race is over. Look, if Sophie starts earning points, that's all I need. Just need us to start picking up points. consistently.
Look at the McLaren driver here. There's the opening. And the McLaren there with a beautiful manoeuvre.
You don't see that very often. Remember that moment. Norris is like, the fuck is Sophie having fastest lap?
Let's have a look at that. Now we're approaching turn 2. Can they squeeze by? And
I think it's going to be a
second
more
place
competitive championship this year, but I think Sophia's going to be better. Safety. That might screw us.
So cool the tyres.
Confirm.
Okay, safety car.
Oh, bosh! That was a boink.
And clearly they're not what everyone...
That'll
in
let Norris
garage
catch
would have
up. It
wanted
just
to
means
see.
whether we can get past. Like, I didn't see how many laps we got left. Yeah, like, we might get a lap at best.
Could be a lot of debris here.
Everyone alright?
But he's out the car and okay.
How is she 10th? She was 9th. How has she been passed on safety?
4 more laps.
I'm sure she was 9th. I might be wrong though. Oh, he's on mediums on 47. If we get 2 laps at him, we'll take him. She was 10th. Not sure I trust you. Might be on the side of the marshals. We need the safety car to come in this lap. It's not going to. We're going to have a lap at this. We'd have got first, I think, if it hadn't been for the safety. I think that saved Max, to be honest, because of his tyres. I think that absolutely saved Max. Because it doesn't say the safety car is going to come in, that we're finishing this race under safety. That's so annoying. We would have caught him. We would have caught him.
Final lap.
Bring that Massey to giving us a 1 lap sprint, yeah. That's fucking annoying. We'd have had that. We'd have had that. I don't know. Safety car ending. Of course it's fucking ending. Go, 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 go.
Okay, so it's closing up.
You got the raw speed on him.
Okay, that's the checkered flag.
Your P2. Good points. Good job, everyone.
Top job.
Okay, I'm not disappointed in that. I think we saw there that Flörsch is way more competitive now.
It's a remarkable drive by Lando Norris today.
The field is tighter,
This podium is something
but
the
she's
whole
way more
team can be
competitive.
proud of. Excellent strategy
And we would have won that
perfectly
race
executed.
if it hadn't been for that safety car.
And you'd love to see this.
And Lando not
Team
making
celebrating
Q1,
this magnificent
Q3
result.
was just fluke.
Lando Norris certainly loves the podium. Heading up there now to celebrate again.
Lando does not act like happy.
Very happy, taking home their first trophy this year.
Well, it
It's
wasn't
going to be a
exactly
fun
walk in the
season, I
park,
think.
but it was a thrilling
A reminder to new
weekend here
people
for us
that
all at the
obviously we only
Australian
stream
Grand
this on Mondays, but if you join the Discord, !Discord, there is a chat channel on there called F1 Campaign, where I'll post screenshots throughout the season, and I will periodically stream races to one of the Discord voice channels where you can just go and chat in the chat channel on there. You don't need voice, we just chat in the text chat channel.
A job well done for sure.
Game really showing why Merc doesn't put rookies in their car IRL. Yeah, it's also why it really annoys me when people go, oh, well, you can just, driver doesn't matter in this game. Very clearly does.
Join us in Baku on the shores of the Caspian Sea.
But let's have a quick look at her stats boost. But yeah, !Discord to join the Discord and jump on there, because we'll get through like at least half the season before the next stream, and I think it's going to be some interesting races on there. So she picks up a point. That's good. Solid start. It's fine. So let's just have a look at her stats and see if what's gone up and what hasn't. Because we can't do anything until 6 days on that. Was that our second bit of... Yeah, so we will build at least 2 of them. So... what's gone up then? Her smoothness is now over... Did she just pick up 2 points on smoothness? I think she did. I mean, we get her over 75 on that, then I think she's going to be better on tyres this year, and that's huge for us. You're right there. Oh, poor Kitty. I think Kitty's struggling a bit in the heat. Well, what's her development rate? It won't be great. Yeah, she's on the average. Yeah, and welcome, Martin Cameron. But yeah, so that is it for today. Thank you very much for watching. We will get one more of these in before I go to Portugal, because I'm not flying out to Portugal until next Wednesday. So we will get the Monday stream in. CK3, Crusader Kings 3 on Sunday. So join me for some of that. You might get a bonus stream of this on Friday. Maybe. But you will definitely get, at the very least, a stream of it on the Discord. So do join the Discord. Do pop into F1 campaign, which is where we chat F1. And I just post stuff from this as we go through. You've got the F1 stream voice and chat channel, where I will periodically say, oh, guys, I'm just going to stream some races to there. And we'll pop in and do that. Don't forget to follow if you haven't followed. I think this season is going to be way more interesting than last season, because this is way more competitive, I think, straight out the bat. And that's good. Like, it was a bit of a cakewalk last year with Lando. And yeah, I will see you all on Sunday, or on Discord, or next Monday for the next official stream of this.